Hey guys, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to show you how you can make humid hides for free. I'm going to be honest, these are super simple ones that you can totally add on and customize if you like, but people ask me about humid hides, shed and hides like they're some sort of magical thing, like what is it? What do I specifically have to do? And it's actually really simple. That's why I wanted to do this video, and there's a lot of things you can actually use or recycle, and it's for free. So the first one I'm going to show you is what I used to do all the time when I first got leopard geckos, and that was to make a humid box shed and hide out of a cricket box. So if you get feeder insects in boxes, this is literally free. So I would just cut a hole in one end, and I will say essentially this video is me cutting really poorly shaped holes into things. Plastic is a pain to cut, especially when it's a little bit brittle. But yes, cut a hole in this and make sure there are no sharp edges. We don't want our geckos getting cut on anything. And what I used to do is just go around the edges with a bit of tape, and that would always smooth it off. But some people will use like a lighter or something to melt it down, as it's just plastic. I will say this might not be the safest thing, and especially if you're younger, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I'd say to just use a bit of tape. It's easier and it's probably safer. I would just like to say, before you use any of these items to cut up or make into a humid hide, before they even get to your geckos, make sure you thoroughly wash them, especially if you get planters or anything, because you don't want any of that getting to your geckos. But I will say I was a bit lazy and did not do that, and then made a complete mess of the reflector that I am filming on. Nevertheless, the next hide is once again a cricket hide or a cricket box, and I've seen people do it where they cut into the side. So once again, it's essentially the same thing, but you put the hole in a different place. Once again, the cutting is a bit difficult and a bit hideous, but you get what I'm getting at. Now, the next few hides were actually free because they were planters, and at my local garden centre, basically, if they have leftover planters, if you have leftover planters, you can put them in this area where people can sort through. They can take planters if they need them, or they're just all going to be recycled. So it's really good. And so I obviously had a good look through that, and I got a few different ones because I think it'd be cool to show different styles. So the first one we're looking at is this green one, and this is more like a tray planter. This one might be a bit big for most vivariums, but if you happen to have a really large enclosure for your leopard gecko, and you can kind of mask this somewhere, like you could cover it up with like some cocoa liner or something to just, you know, so it's not bright green. This could totally work. There are some trays that are like longer trays that may potentially work too. The only thing with planters is they do have holes in the top, so I don't know if that will let out too much humidity, so you might want to block them. As I said, you could put cocoa liner or something like that on top. So once again, I just cut a hole in this. Very simple. There's your humid hide. The next one is this black planter. I like this one because it's a bit rectangular, so if you wanted to, you could actually just pop it on its side, put some moss or substrate in, and your gecko could probably just walk in there. However, it does have holes on top. It's a very big opening, so I don't know how well that would hold in humidity. But I decided to put it upright, as you can see, and cut a hole in it. Once again, it's so hard to cut into these things. I want to make something that actually looks good, but I mean, I'm sure you could do better, far better than this. But yeah, it turns into a humid hide, and I do feel like this has a lot of potential to really decorate. Like, you could take this, get some expanding foam, carve it out, you know, make it look kind of rocky. You could cover it in sealant and roll it in cocoa fibre. There's quite a few different things you could do with this, and it's quite nice and spacious. Obviously, when you go looking for planters, you could find a whole array of them, so, you know, you do you, but, you know, this is just for inspiration, really. The last planter I picked up was this sort of tray because my garden centre had so many of them, and it kind of looks like a labyrinth for leopard geckos. It's quite interesting. You could probably make a double humid hide by connecting two of these trays, but I will say they're a little bit on the shallow side. I think if you had a baby leopard gecko, if you had a lot of baby leopard geckos and picked up this tray for like free, that could be awesome. But I did cut it out. It was a little tricky, and you do get a weird hole on the side of the hide because of how these are connected, but you know, once again, it's a free little humid hide, a bit of an idea. This video was mainly to sort of inspire you. A lot of these are very basic and not the most attractive, but maybe you are waiting for a humid hide, like you've ordered online and it hasn't got here and your gecko's about to shed and you're like, what do I do? Or you just, you know, you want to use something different, you want to recycle, you want to get something for free. And the good thing with pretty much all of these is once you're done with them, you can pop them in the recycling. They get recycled. Now, of course, if you want to buy something, you totally can. There are loads of different tubs and stuff out there, all shapes and sizes that you could get. It may be a little more difficult to cut into them. You might want to use a little drill piece maybe. Some plastic is very brittle, so it could completely crack, so you want to judge that yourself. And as I said before, you can decorate it as long as it's safe stuff. You can really decorate it and make it a part of the setup so it doesn't just look like this random plastic thing in the tank. Another thing you could do is a half coconut hide. I know Minnie used to have one and she always would shed in there. And if you wanted to actually buy a hide as a humid hide, cave kind of hides are really good. I really loved the Leopard Gecko cave that I had in Ziggy's tank for a really long time. So they're all really good options, but this video was mainly to just give you a little bit of inspiration, see what's out there, see what you can do. And obviously things like Pinterest are really handy for things like this. And if you have any ideas, let me know in the comment section below. I feel this channel is almost like a little forum underneath sometimes, and you can help each other out. Before I go, I would like to give a shout out to Mitch, who is a patron of this channel. He has been a patron for over a year, so thank you so much to Mitch. But yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye.
Bye.